Hi all, this is Avinash. This is one of the multiple videos discussing Cisco Meraki. In this video, we're gonna see how to do the initial configuration of the wireless access point. So once you connect the wireless access point to this switch, so make sure the wireless access point is connected to the PoE switch where you have PoE port. So once you connect the wireless access point to that switch, and once you do the licensing and everything, so you can see the access point directly showing over here. So initially it will be in a alerting mode, and it will be there in alerting mode for some time while doing the initial configuration. So once it is completed, it will go online. So I will show you how exactly the configuration looks here. So I have a MR53 access point connected to my switch. So let me show you what exact configuration you need on switch first. So here you can see the CDP neighbor. So it is connected to this switch on the port 1. So on this switch, the access point is connected on this port number 1. So let's see what configuration I have on port 1. So you can see on my port 1, on the switch port 1, there is only a native VLAN 1, and all the VLANs are allowed. That means it's a trunk. So but in your case, if you have out of band management VLAN configured, you can add those VLAN here. Okay, so in this way you will your AP will get the IP from that VLAN. So you just need to make sure that whatever the out of band management VLAN is native VLAN. Okay, because it is required for the initial port. So the management network should be in a native VLAN. Okay. So once that is done, the AP will get the local private IP. I'll show you how exactly it looks. Yeah. So you can see the LAN IP, which is the local private IP assigned to this AP, and this is the public IP. That LAN IP is somehow getting NATed on the firewall and going to the internet. So on the internet, this IP is listening on this one. Okay, on this public. So there is no requirement of one-to-one NAT. So only need is the private IP. This one should be reachable from the internet. So once you do the licensing configuration and all, which I shown in the other video, so once the license everything is in place. So from the cloud dashboard, it will automatically detect that this AP belongs to your order, and it will be directly mapped to your network. Okay, so that's simple this is, and I will show you some more option. Initially it is showing as this one. Let me log in once again. There should be an option. Let me see. Yeah, I logged into some other network. Okay. Yeah, you can see. So you have an edit option here. You can name your AP. Let's say floor 1 AP1. So you can name the AP, and this is the MAC ID of the AP. If in case you want to cross check what exact AP is connected on your dashboard. You can see all the SSIDs configured here, and here it is a CDP neighbor on which switch port this AP is connected. This is a very important detail you need while doing the troubleshooting. If there is any cable issue or something, L1 issues, you need to know where exactly the AP is connected. And this is the serial number of the AP. These are the tags. I will discuss all this information one by one in the next videos. Let's see the summary. Okay, in the summary, you can see the uplink traffic flowing on your AP. So it will exactly show how much is the download and the upload speed. And this shows the DNS and ARP, everything is okay. You can see the historic data from last what time this AP is up. So if you point here, okay, it clearly says that this was disconnected on this point of time, and from this point of time this is live. There are other the health information available. You can go through this one. So let's go to the port. Yeah. So in the access point we have two ports. So this is the port connected to our switch, and this one you can see the event logs. I mean, like when the the association happen, and how the AP is getting IP and everything. So this event log is AP wise specific to this AP, but we do have the centralized event option where you can see the event logs for the entire network, and there you have option to filter this AP and see the specific logs as well in this option. Yeah. So generally in the production environment for event log we go to here, because it would be difficult to see the event log for each and every AP going specifically to that AP option. But if any of the AP is, particularly that AP is not function properly, so you can see the event log specific to that AP in this section. Okay. You can set in this one location here. So this option, you can add your address and it will directly locate on the map. You can see the connection and overall the graph, what is the success rate and how much DNS errors and how much DHCP errors got, and the association, like if you have the authentication, all those the parameters and the graphs you can see here. You have some pretty cool feature here for the testing. You can do the testing from this AP. Let's say I'm doing the ping test for the internet. There you go. So it says it is able to ping the 8.8.8. So I mean, it is very easy, and so in this way you can do the troubleshooting whether your AP is reachable to internet or not. Okay. You have some other options here like trace route, ARP table, and this one you can click on this one. If you click on this one, your AP will blink. Okay, so just in case like you have hundreds of AP on floor and you don't know where exactly this AP connected, you can use this option to blink the LED on the AP, so it will continuously blink for some time. Okay. Yeah, there is some other options. Okay, yeah, RF and everything. We will discuss in the next video specific to RF and all. So this is how the initial dashboard looks for your wireless AP. As of now, I have only one AP connected to my network, but let's say if you have 20 APs, so those all APs will be listed here, and you can name it properly according to your floor plan. That is best way to do it, because that will be very easy for you to do the RF channeling and even do the SSIDs and divide the traffic based on the VLANs. Let's say if you have 10 floors in your office and you want to maintain the same SSID on the 10th floor, so there are a lot of multiple good options available in the Meraki, which I will show you. And you can edit your I mean, like this is the dashboard. You can select multiple options here. So let's say local IP, client usage, you need serial number as well, tags, firmware version. So all those options will be enabled here for you. So it will be very easy for you to filter and have a look all the information in one single page. So that's all in this video. Stay tuned for the further videos. Thank you.